I'm going to use a football analogy today, only because we know what it means and it's a brilliant metaphor for life, but I have no football strategy to show you or tell you. So if you've come for that, the algorithm has done a number on you and you should switch off. I want to talk about that moment where in your life you feel like you've been on the bench for a long time. My 9-year-old's going to be delighted that I'm using these analogies. We'll be like, Mom, you do know stuff. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. When I talk about being on the bench, maybe it's that moment of sales have been slow in your business for a while. Maybe you're feeling like everybody is getting booked but you. Maybe you're feeling like you're never quite part of the thing. Maybe your life has taken you in a direction where you haven't had excess energy, motivation, capacity to do all of the things. And life has just become a little bit mundane, a little bit ploddy. And I'm saying that because I've been there. Just going through the motions, getting the things done. What are we having for dinner? What are we having for breakfast? What are we doing today? Or let's do the same as yesterday. All of those actions. I want to remind you that, and this will take us into number one, where you are right now is not a reflection of the potential you have. This period of time does not have to define you. I hear this sometimes where people reach 40 or they talk about how old they're getting and they're 36 or 24 or 29 and they say things such as, I guess that's it for me now. And I always want to question it, but sometimes I can't because it's not my question to question. But I look at people like my Nana, and yes, she had great health, and that is definitely an absolute privilege. But she lived till she was 98 and a half. Very important, because when you get to those kind of numbers, the half is like another 6 months, golden. And she was on her own for, I don't know why I've got into this about my Nana, but it's part of the story. She was on her own for, I think, 16 years. And she had been taking care of my granddad. And of course, she was devastated when he died. But she also knew that she could have another chapter in her life. And again, she was well, she was privileged in that way. And she traveled and she met people and she had a great time and she dressed like Joan Collins and she chatted to strangers on planes. And even Matt and I, we took her to her family wedding and we brought her back and she met Tracy Emin and I don't know, it was a wild time. So your voice when you're in that sludge of like, oh, I'm on the bench, this is who I am, this is my whole personality. I want you to do whatever you need to do to take a step back and look at it. And maybe you need to look at it in terms of a percentage. Maybe you're looking at the last 20 years and you go, well, for the last 2 years, I've done hardly anything. That's nothing as a percentage. So make sure that you're paying attention to that bigger vision. Number 2, see what's going on. Pay attention. Look, observe, raise your awareness. Don't come into the situation blindly. If you've taken a career break, if you've relaxed a little bit, if you've needed to put focus in another direction, don't just pick up where you left off. Check it out, see what's happening. So if you were in a football team, for example, see who's playing, what relationships have established, what's been going on. What's happening now? What are the dynamics? Do that in your industry, in your life, and it will make you feel really fresh and sharp. And it will also give you that boost of like, okay, I know what's what here. Number 3, start by warming up and telling people. Don't wait until you are 100% good to go. You see people doing, footballers like doing I'm sitting in a chair, so I'm not going to do it, but the galloping up and down the touchline. You can see them like with their jackets on, but they're doing some high knees. Sometimes we have to do that earlier than we want. Sometimes we have to do it and like somebody will see us go, hear that like click when it's like, oh, she's not quite warmed up yet. No worries. Start by getting in the game. Build that momentum right now. Tell people you're coming back. Tell people what you're doing. Tell people what you've been doing recently. Tell people about where you're going next. Build that momentum. Don't wait for the big reveal. Warm up to it and bring people on the journey. Number 4, as much as society would have you believe that you had to worry about everybody else, you're not going to be able to control that. Meaning, people will live their lives. People are doing what they're doing. So if you spend your whole time looking around going, but they're doing that, or that, they're much further along, or they started at the same time as me and I feel like, and I'm not sure. That is like, even the gesture that I was giving you there, that's all noise. That's all right round your head. When you're moving forward, you don't want that. These are technical terms. You want calm. You want clarity. You want poise. You want the present moment. That's what you want in those moments. So your only job here is to play you versus you. How are you moving forward? Because everybody else is on a different time scale. But what you can do when you play you versus you is you can speed up yours. You can get going. Oh, I'm going to do these 3 things today. Brilliant. Doing these 3 things, I am 3 times better than I was yesterday. I've noticed that shift. I've made that jump from here to here to here. That's when you get to know what's what. That's when you get to gather all of the measurables and see how they're moving and shifting. Number 5, the final point, you have to have the mindset to play. Sometimes you will be 100% backing yourself saying, yes, let's go. I'm excited. I can't believe how aligned I am. I can't believe how long I waited for this. This feels so right. I feel so on purpose. I can't wait to create impact. You're going to have all of the things like you might on a night out, like this is great. Yeah. And some days you're not. You're not going to have any of those things. You're going to have, is there any point? Can I really do this? I feel like rubbish today. I feel like I'm behind. Everybody else has got it figured out. I'm so tired. I've missed out on lost time. All of it. But ultimately, if you can come back to the decision of, I am here to play. I am here to be in the game, to get back on that pitch once again. That will serve you so, so well. Because when you bring awareness to all of these things, you're actually beginning to build a relationship with that, with those voices in your head, with the conscious and the subconscious, the self-sabotaging, the niggles, the parts of you also that you need to ignite again. You know, those like slightly sassy, like, yeah, I can do this. Watch me. I always talk about like my Scorpio fire. I'm way more of a Scorpio than I would like to be. But sometimes I have that Scorpio fire, which I don't know. I would say 4 or 5, it started, where somebody would tell me I couldn't do something. And I would, because I was trying to be polite and do all the right things, I wouldn't answer back. But on the inside, or I'd like go into another room and shut the door, and I would have that thing of, watch me, I will do it, and I'll prove you wrong, and I'll fucking show you. Like, I would have all of that. You're going to get all of the voices, all of the things, but it's how you manage it. If you want help and support, I have a monthly program, monthly moves, where we can work together for 30 days and get things up and running. Or if you want to go all in, 100 days together, building your personal brand plan. I would love to hear from you. Book in a discovery call and we can go from there. Lots of love. Bye. And get off the bench.